In this episode, I interview my friend Jeremy, or Dude, it's Jeremy. He's a content creator on YouTube and a podcaster, but he's also an MK2 in the Coast Guard, or a machinery technician. We're going to be answering a lot of your guys' questions. So like, what does an MK do at a land unit, sea unit? What about, can MKs go to tactical law enforcement units? Can you go into the Coast Guard without any prior machinery technician knowledge and then come out and understand like how an engine and all this stuff works? Because these are longer interviews and we're answering a lot of questions, we'll include the timestamps in the description box as well as the playlist so you can keep up to date with every episode. With that being said, guys, hope you enjoy. Peace out. Now, what does a MK do at an ant?
So at an ant, and I'm gonna kind of group this with the station, with the small boat station, because they're very, very similar. So at an ant or at a station, the way I always describe it is like during the day, that's when you're doing all of your MK work. That's when you're doing maintenance on the small boats, making sure they're running properly. At a station, we also did a lot of the building maintenance. So we might, especially like the unit that I was at, we had problems with our air conditioning all the time and with the heating. So there was always repairs being done to the building itself and also to the engines. It depends on, like at the ant, the ACE navigation team, we had two boats, we had two small boats, and outboards, for anyone that knows a little bit about engineering or anything, the outboards are pretty easy to maintain. So we just had two of those, and then at the station we had two 29s and two 45s. So the 29-foot, those have outboards as well, and then the 45s have dedicated Detroit diesel engines. So during the day is when we would do maintenance and work on those, any repairs or anything like that, and then your actual operational side of things at an ACE navigation, it would be going out to work buoys, and at the station it would be going out either for search and rescue or for law enforcement. And so you would get underway, and basically like very little of your MK knowledge or work or anything like that really played into that. It was all operational. It was all about working the buoys, or doing the if you're searching for a person in the water or something like that, that's kind of like the task at hand. You're not really worried about engineering or anything like that.
Okay. And what does a MK do at a sector or support division?
So at a sector or support division, they have really unique roles. They basically have a shop that they report to every morning, and their shop is basically every like tool, basically just every tool you could imagine. It's just toolboxes as far as the eye can see, and they will assist other units. So they will assist other boats, other 87s, like where I'm at. There's a sector, there are sector MKs. They come assist us, like I would say once a week or so, once or twice a week, and they just and that's just to lessen the load on the MKs at the unit. Like I was describing earlier, like there's only a few of us. So even if we're underway, Chief might come down and work with us. But back at the pier, when we're doing those maintenance weeks, there's no really need for him to come down and help us. We can do that and then have the sector MKs come and they help us for a little bit, and then they go back to their shop.
Okay.
And they work everything from like larger cutters to smaller cutters. So the sector MKs we work with, they do all of the 87s in our area, but there's another shop at the sector that handles larger cutters, and they rarely get underway unless they seek it. You know what I mean? If they want the opportunity, they want to get underway to see what it's like, they can request that kind of thing. But essentially, they don't get any underway time at a sector or a support division.
Sounds like a pretty sweet deal. Like you're Monday through Friday with maybe duty on the weekends. And then you're just basically working on every system rather than just one dedicated system.
Yeah, I think that's something like that's a job that would really appeal to me if I wanted to specialize in engineering stuff and engineering stuff only. You know what I mean? Like for me, for my personality, like I like to do a variety of things. I like to do all the different jobs that we do. But for some people, they don't, like they want to focus on that machinery technician stuff at its core. and those are really great units for those types of people.
Okay, yeah, that's a really good way to put it, because MKs, you're not just an MK, you're a law enforcement, or you're not just an MK,
Right.
you're a aids to navigation technician, but at a sector support division, you're just an MK.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's really cool. Not a lot of people talk about like sectors or support divisions, because they just don't know about it. Usually when you think of the Coast Guard, you think of cutters, ants, stuff like that, small boat stations, but there's sectors and support divisions, which is kind of a unique little niche.
Mm-hmm.
What is go ahead.
Sorry, I can't get into detail about it because I don't know much, but I also know MKs are also found at like your tactical units, your like like tackle and things like that. Like as an MK, you're able to go to those units, and that's where you're doing virtually little to no MK work, and it's all operation, it's all law enforcement and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I was actually going to go into some of those, so let's just go with that. Do you know what a MK would do at like a MFPU, a Maritime Force Protection Unit?
I don't know a lot. I know it would be similar to like what I described already as an 80, because MFPU is like the one that I know of is on an 87, there's like the 87 units that work in conjunction with them, I guess. So I think that their day is very similar, but they do a lot. They just do more operations and more. The law enforcement is different for them too, because it's not law enforcement in the sense that I was talking about with doing boardings and checking out recreational vessels or commercial fishing vessels. It's more doing escorts, like for high value assets, doing escorts, working alongside with the Navy and things like that. That's when they're underway, when they're doing operations, that's their primary focus.
So they're not even doing any MK work at MFPUs?
I think they are. I think they do. I think their MK side of things would be very similar to what I was talking about. I don't think that part would change as much. Just the underway part, the operational part would change.
It's going to be more of different law enforcement type of mission.
Yeah, just a different type of task.
Okay. Now, what about MKs at MSSTs?
That's another one that I don't know a whole lot about. I think it's similar. Like I think they do all the maintenance and repairs and things like that. But again, they're going to be more. The job for them is more tactical based, more operational based. So I think you're going to see a lot more of that at an MSST or MSRT.
Okay. And what does an MK do at an air station?
At an air station, I know they do maintenance on like the building and I think the government vehicles, but I don't think it's to a great extent. I'm not really. That's one that not many people really know unless you've been there. What an MK does. Usually, you'll see like it's just an MK3 or something like that. You don't see like MK1s or MKC. You don't see like higher ranking MKs at an air station, just because aerial units they have their own machinery technician for aviation.
Yeah, the AMTs. Yeah, from what I kind of understood, since I've been in the Coast Guard, is that MKs at air stations, they're more like kind of like your DC almost for the air station.
Yeah. I think that's right. It's an extra person to have as a watchstander and things like that, and they're a lot of building maintenance and things like that.
Yeah, they're taking care of like the building maintenance, the lawn, they're in charge of the choppers, just not the helicopters. They're in charge of the
right.
the lawnmower choppers. Okay, now so it sounds like from what you were saying was that MK, people that are wanting to go MK or BM, it really just kind of comes down to you're going to be dual-sided. It's two sides to the coin. You got the one side that's going to be dealing primarily with maintenance, turning wrenches, stuff like that. But then the flip side, you can choose what you want to do, whether that's law enforcement, aids to navigation, tactical law enforcement, stuff like that.
Right.
What are some like outlier units that are like really unique that all MKs maybe want to do, or like I know for like ITs, like there's a unit where you can go to Japan, and be like the primary duty IT in Japan, or you can go to like Europe, in the Netherlands. Are there any
Hmm.
units kind of like that that are really unique and sought after for MKs?
I know. I don't, and I don't even think this is specific to MKs. I think this is just like BMs, MKs, all the like. Usually, river tenders, construction tenders, even buoy tenders are very sought after because and those are the boats. Like if you Google or anything like that, they're usually larger vessels, larger Coast Guard cutters, but they have these massive cranes. They're working larger buoys, and things of that nature. And I think it's just the nature of the work. It's a very like I don't want to say work hard, play hard, but it's a very it's a fun job. Like it's a lot of they use these massive cranes. You're pulling massive buoys up and scrape these buoys down, and then you're done. You go anchor out for the night or whatever. It's just a very fun job, I guess. And so I think that appeals to a lot of people. I know it appeals to a lot of MKs. I think it appeals to just a lot of coasties in general.
Yeah, it's the same with the BMs. The BM side, they're all kind of planning their careers, to try to go to and then some people just don't like it. They say, it's dirty work and it's a lot of hard work, and
Right,
just
right.
rather be a law dog than
Yeah,
working in the mud. But coming from an ant, it's like, yeah, it's fun work. Definitely tires you
yeah,
out, but
yeah.
okay. Now this section, I just kind of wanted to know, because I know different rates have like a way that they can kind of set up their career to be most optimized. Whether that's being like on a cutter, for your first unit or your second
Mhm.
unit. Can you kind of explain what is like the optimized career for an MK, like someone that comes into the Coast Guard and they say, well, I want to end up on a river tender, or I want to make Master Chief. Like how do you optimize your career as an MK?
Right. So the biggest thing, like I talked about a little bit earlier, how like MKs is primarily a cutter based rate where you just see more available jobs on a cutter as an MK. So I guess I would say like your optimal career route would be getting as much underway time as early as you can. And that's just in my opinion, I guess. I think it depends on every person. There are people who have been in for 18 years and they want to be on big cutters. They just like working on big cutters, even if they're underway for long periods of time. They enjoy that work so much. For me personally, like I'm totally fine with that, but I don't want to be doing that when I've been in for almost 20 years. And at that point in my career, I'd like to be able to take a land job or something like that, and have a little more time with my family. You know what I mean? So that's my recommendation, I guess, would be get your sea time earlier rather than later. I know, like, especially when you go to A school, everyone wants an underway unit out of A school because you're getting sea time, and now it's rated sea time, which has a little bit more weight to it, and it means a little bit more as you get further in your career. Rated sea time versus non-rated sea time. So the problem with that is there aren't enough jobs to allow for that. So just to give an example, when I went to A school, there were roughly 20 students and there were only 3 underway jobs or billets. And of course, that's what everyone wanted. So it was very competitive. So that's why I'd say, like, get your sea time earlier rather than later. Another thing that has been, I guess, passed to me, I don't know exactly how this works out. I can't speak from experience, but I'm in an underway unit now, and I've been told I'm better off going to another underway unit, and this plays into like priorities and picks and things like that. So I've been recommended, or it's been told to me, to try and go to another underway unit and keep that higher priority, to use it to my advantage to get the underway billets that I would prefer. I really hope all that made sense.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of going with, because I know lots of people like to try to play the system, to the benefit of the Coast Guard, but to yourself as well.
Right. Yeah.
You basically just kind of like priority hop to where you want to
Yeah.
go to, kind of get the optimized career. Like if you just want to stay in Florida, you'll priority hop to different units, or maybe Bahrain, and
Yeah.
Okay. Might be a little bit too complicated for this video. Let's what if you wanted to be just on land units? Is that possible as an MK for like your career?
No, as a career, it's not, and that's because and I would have to double check this, but I believe that to make first class, you have to have 1 year of rated C time as an MK. If that's not exactly what it is, it's very similar to that. So at some point in your career, you would have to spend some time underway as an MK. It has to be rated C time, like I was just talking about also. If you're just doing it for 4 years, if you go to MKA school, you're not guaranteed to spend any amount of time underway. But if you want to make it a career, you'll definitely have to spend some time underway.
You said it's pretty competitive to get underway, though?
Right out of A school, it is. And like that's just because everyone's trying to do, like we were just talking about, just take the best possible route, get your underway time as early as possible. Especially, A school billets are usually like, they're pretty good billets. They're pretty good underway, like highly sought after underway billets.
Hope you guys liked this interview. If you did and you found some of the information useful, do me a big favor and smash that thumbs button. Let me know that you are liking this and that I should keep on making these interviews. If you want to know more about what MKs do in the Coast Guard, check out this playlist right here or keep watching right here. Until next time, guys, peace out.